Hi, this is Paula with Exercise 101. I want to thank you for joining me along with the UMBC Rec for class today. Please remember to consult your physician prior to starting or changing your exercise regimen. When taking this class, you need to remember that comfortable, well-fitted footwear is a must. You should also be wearing comfortable clothing to include a breathable top and breathable but loose yet not too loose, form-fitting bottoms. When you are following us on social media, be sure to check us out on our Instagram page as well as our YouTube channel under UMBC Rec. Again, thank you for joining me for class today. We're going to start off with our warm-up. Our warm-up consists of a little walk in place, jog, or a run, whichever you choose to start with. We're then going to move it up to our marches. First, the low impact, then a higher impact where we bring our knees about waist height, and then we're going to go into our kicks, forward kicks, as well as kicks out to the side. We call those lateral kicks. Our kicks will start low to the ground, and then we'll find that our kicks will come up about waist height. We're then going to move with our arms and do arm circles backwards and forwards before we repeat our warm-up 2 more times, incorporating more of the progressive and less of the regressive. Be sure that if at any point in time during any of these exercises you feel major discomfort, please stop, take a few short deep breaths, and then rejoin when you feel your body is ready to. Also, if you just need a moment and you want to stay with the exercises but you don't want to continue with the progressive, please know that you can always take it down a notch to the regressed portion of the exercise and you will still be on track with the rest of the class. So if you're ready, then so am I. We're going to start off with our either walking in a loop pattern or walking in place, jogging, or a little bit of a run in place. We're going to start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So if you're doing your jog, then your feet are coming a little bit off the ground. If you're doing your run, then you are starting with the jog, and then when we would progress to rounds 2 and 3, then you're going to take it to more of a run, okay? Otherwise, if you were one of the students who wanted to start with the walk, please feel free to start with the walk, all right? So remember, we're doing this, the regress portion, for 1 minute. Then we're going to go into our low kicks and our low marches, each for 1 minute. All right. You don't have much long here. You got about 20 seconds and counting down, all right? So remember to keep your elbows underneath your shoulders. Get the blood running through your legs. Good. We have about 6 more seconds here before we go into our little march. 3, 2, 1. Little march, march, march. Little lifting of the feet off the floor. Good. So remember, this is double time. When we come up to our knees being about waist height, it's going to be half the amount of time. That's going to be our regressed march. Okay, so again, doing 3 rounds allows our body to warm up gradually. Okay, we don't just want to jump into working out. We want to make sure our body gets nice and warm, our heart rate is gradually elevated, our muscles are gradually warmed, then we're stretching them, okay, and then we're building ourselves up to be successful during our workout. Keep going. We're way over the halfway mark. We're almost to the point of transitioning to our next exercise. Just stay with me for another 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now kick it forward, kick it forward, kick it forward. Good. So remember, we are using good posture. We started out with our legs underneath our hips before we started any jogging, any kicking, any running. And we made sure that our belly button was pulled in, our shoulders were relaxed. We're sitting up, or standing up rather, nice and tall with our spine nice and long. Not hunched, okay, and not tense, okay, but nice and relaxed. Good. Coming up to the transition point, we have about 20 more seconds, with our low kicks. Good. And then today, as I said, we're going to add that kick out to the side, okay? A kick out to the side. We got 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1. So kick out to the side. Out to the side. So when you kick out to the side, okay, we are not leaning in the direction of the kick, but we are simply getting our hips more engaged in our warm-ups. And by doing that, we are doing what is called an abductor, technically, okay, and an adductor. So we are taking the muscles both on the inside and the outside of the legs and using the hip muscle to help our legs lift and to get the muscles on the inside and the outside of our legs, okay, nice and warm. So it's just a little kick out to the side. You're going to feel your hips warm up, so they're going to talk to you a little bit. You might even feel it in your glutes as well. 10 more seconds. Time goes fast when you're having fun. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold your feet, keep and bring your arms out for arm circles. Forward, and then we're going to go backward. So arms should be at shoulder height. Palms are open and facing forward. Fingers are lengthened and stretched. We're not curling our fingers and creating any tension between our wrist and our fingertips. Pulling our belly button in, looking forward, and keeping our body nice and firm, not wobbling forward and back as if we're trying to do a trust fall. Switch directions. Now we're going to circle backwards. And after this, we're going to raise our arms up and do our toe touch, okay? Remembering to feel the stretch in the back of our legs, only going as far as our body will allow as we hinge at the hip. And we're breathing as we lower down and inhaling as we come up. We're going to do that in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Arms come up, swing them up. And we're going to inhale, we're going to exhale and hinge down. Stretching the back of our legs. Only going down as far as we feel comfortable. And once the muscles in the back of our legs relax, we're going to go down a little bit farther. No bend in the knees. Our legs are nice and long. And our knees are firm. Holding in here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now rolling it up. Ever so gently, not too fast. Don't want to get dizzy. Okay? And then we're going to start from the top. Same warm up, nothing different. I hope you have some water nearby where you can grab a sip between the different sets of our warm up as well as the different sets of our exercises today. So if you don't have it, take a moment to go grab some water and then come back with it. All right, we're going to get ready to go into the round 2 of our warm up. Now with round 2, we're going to do half regression and half progression. So not only if you were walking, continue with the walk for 30 seconds and then take it up to a jog for 30 seconds. If you were jogging, it's jog for 30 seconds, run for 30 seconds, okay? Same thing with the kicks. Low impact for 30, higher impact for 30. Kicks, lower impact for 30, higher impact for 30, okay? The only thing that really doesn't change is our arm circles. We're not moving them any faster or any slower, but we're going to move them at the pace at which we started out with, okay? And the other thing that does not change is our stretch. So our hinging at the hip. So if you are ready, then so am I. We're going to start off, again, with whatever regression you started with in the last set, and one progression up from there. All right, so for me, I started out with the jog, so I'm going to do a 30-second jog, and then I'm going to do a 30-second run. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I'm starting out with my jog. And then in 30 seconds, I'm going to switch to my run. Okay, keep going. We got about 15 seconds, a little less. 10 seconds before we take it to our progression, whatever that may be for you. 3, 2, 1. So for me, it's going to go into a run. More of my foot is coming off the floor. Now my arms have come down to a 90-degree angle in my elbow. And I'm just jogging in place. But if you have the space to jog back and forth, go for it. Keep going, don't stop. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. You got 3, 2, and 1. Good. Now we're going to do our march. Low impact march first for 30 seconds. 30 seconds high impact march. Here we go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Low impact march. All right. Okay, you got about 10 more seconds here before we go into our high impact march. Knees are going to come about waist height. 3, 2, and 1. Lift it up. Half time with our march. From here, we're going to go to our front kicks. Okay? 20 seconds to go. Keep your arms at your sides. Don't worry about them too much. Okay? Don't let them be a hindrance to you. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's kick it forward. Good. Low impact kick first. Then we're going to take it up a notch. Bring our leg up to waist height or as high as you feel comfortable to kick forward. 10 seconds down, 20 seconds to go and counting. Good. 10 seconds to go before we make that switch to our legs coming up. 3, 2, 1, transition. Now, again, my arms came up so that I felt more comfortable with where my arms are going to be. Now, you can keep your arms down here and still do your high or your progressive kick. You do not necessarily have to bring them up in front of your face as I did, but you can. You can even keep them here at 90-degree angle. Good. 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Good. Little kicks out to the side. Good. And breathe. So notice, during the regress portions, we are slowing our heart rate down and we're giving ourselves time to breathe and recover. With the third round, we won't have so much of a recovery time. But that's okay because we've warmed up the body enough where you can handle that. 6 seconds before we make that transition to higher kicks, okay? 3, 2, and 1. Now take your time with lifting your leg out to the side. These do not have to come to waist height, but you do want them to be higher than they were before. Remember, warming up the hips as well as the glutes to get them engaged in the activity that we're going to do next. Good. Don't twist the body. Keep the belly button forward when you're doing these kicks out to the side. 4 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Now arms out to the side, arm circles forward. Good. Slow your heart rate down. Take a couple breaths. Just relax here. 30 seconds to the front and 30 seconds to the back. Good. 10 seconds to go before we change to circling towards the back. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Circle backwards. Good. Keep going. You have 10 seconds here. 3, 2, and 1. Arms come down, and then you want to come and hinge at the waist, okay, for that stretch. Remember, start with your arms up, bring your hands down, and hinge and hold. Good. And only go as far as you feel comfortable. Remember to breathe. Again. One more time. And roll on up. Good, shoulders come back. All right, go grab that water. Get a sip before we go into round 3. All right, very good. So you got your sip of water. Now you're coming back for round 3. Same thing, mostly progressive exercises for the 3rd round of warm-up. Remember, you can always go back to the regressive for just a second, but try to stay at that progressive stage of warming up, okay? All right, so round 3, progressive everything, unless you need to go down to the regressive for a brief moment, and then go back to the progressive exercises, okay? All right, we're gonna start off with the run, whether you did the jog as your progressive or the run to your progressive, or you could have even stayed with the walk but made it a little bit faster. Then we're gonna go to the kicks, and then to the marches, or to the marches, then to the kicks to the front, kicks to the side, and then we're gonna do arm circles, forward and backward, and then our stretch, okay? All right, we're gonna get started in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's jog, or run rather. Run for me. 1 minute. You can do it. 1 minute. Come on, stay with me. We're about halfway there and counting. Good, good, good. Keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. 20 seconds. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, let's take it to a march. Now your marches are half time. Now like they were here in double time, half the time. Now, you see my hands? They are coming up flat, palm down, and all I'm doing is holding them out here. My knees don't necessarily have to touch them, but it can be a goal for myself. You can feel the need to do the same, but you don't have to. Breathe, breathe. Less than 20 seconds to go. 10 seconds. Then we're going to do our kicks to the front. 4, 3, 2, 1. Kick front. Good. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Don't hold your breath. And it is okay to hear yourself breathe. That's a good thing. All right, so waist tight with those leg kicks coming forward. And breathing. Belly button pulled in. Okay, keep going. You have less than 20 seconds to go. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now out to the side. Good. Out to the side kicks. Kicking. Stay motivated. Think about your favorite thing. It might burn. You might feel like you can't keep going, but you can. Don't give up. Why? Because we don't have much more time to go. 20 seconds. Almost there. 10 seconds. Stick through it. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Arm circles. You did it. You did it. Just breathe. Keep moving your arms. Keep your feet still. Just breathe. And we're going to change directions in 3, 2, and 1. Circle backwards. $15 seconds. Then we're going to do our hinge 2 times. Good. 3, 2, and 1. Swing your arms up. Belly button in. Now exhale. Touch your toes. And breathe. Again. And inhale, come on up. And take an exhale once you get to the top. Now let's do it again. Swing your arms up. And let's exhale, touch our toes. Let's breathe. And now that we've hit the 3rd round of our warm-up, you should be able to inhale and exhale and get a little bit deeper in the stretch, okay? If it's a major discomfort, stop only where you feel comfortable. You should feel a nice stretch in the back of your legs. One more inhale and exhale. Okay. And let's inhale, come on up. And exhale, roll your shoulders back. All right, great, great. So get some water. Let's chat for a little bit. So when you do your warm-up, you should be doing it in a progressive manner, adding in a little bit more as you go on because you want your body to be good and warm once you get ready to do your actual workout. The warm-up is what sets you up to be successful throughout your workout, okay? And if you haven't warmed up well, then you can prepare yourself or cause yourself rather to incur an injury, and we don't want that. So please be mindful that when you're doing your warm-up, you should be doing a warm-up that is getting you ready for your workout, but also building up your heart rate as you get ready for your workout. So that brings me to what we're going to focus on today, stretching. So stretching is very important. You may have been taught or learned, or maybe not, but whatever the case may be, you may have heard along the way that stretching is really done at the end of the workout. Okay, so that you don't feel sore the next day, and so that you can, work through the lactic acid that builds up around your joints when you do a really good workout. Though that may be true in some cases, stretching is really good for you overall. And little to what may not be known to you is that you stretch all the time. You just don't really put much thought into it. Well, when you're changing your lifestyle in the fitness way, or for fitness purposes, you want to make sure that you're deliberate about your stretching. And when you want to stretch is after you've gotten your muscles warm. Stretching cold muscles is kind of like trying to, kind of cut a piece of meat that you've had in the freezer for a long time. Your knife might go through it, but it'll take a lot of work, okay? Whereas if you let it thaw a little bit and really thaw thoroughly, okay, come to room temperature, you cutting through that meat is much easier, okay? Less work on you. So it's less work on your joints and muscles when you warm up the body and then you stretch the muscles. Now let's talk about the different types of stretching. So we have static stretches and we have mobile stretches. Static stretches are the stretches that you do when you're standing in place, okay? You're just holding a muscle or you're finding a muscle to stretch, and then you're holding that stretch for at least 15 seconds, and you feel some mild discomfort, but when you release that muscle, it feels a little bit looser, more relaxed, okay? Whereas mobile stretches are the ones that get your body ready to do the workout. Mobile stretches would be, for an example, like a butt kick, okay? So if you want to practice with me or start with me, a mobile stretch would be a butt kick, and we were prepared to do a butt kick by standing in a nice, tall, neutral position, okay, so good posture, feet underneath our hips. And then what we would do is we would take the heel of our shoe and attempt to get it to touch our glute, okay? So like this, okay? And what that muscle does, or what that stretch does, is it helps not only stretch out the muscles in the front of your leg and the back of your leg, but it also gives some flexion in your knee and prepares your knee to get ready for the workout that we're going to do. Now, we can make that particular mobile stretch very difficult or more active if we were to speed up that butt kick. So our butt kick could look like this, standing in place, simply kicking each glute, or at least getting as close to that glute as possible. Or if we wanted to make it more difficult and a deeper stretch, okay, and then a little bit more of part of our workout, then we can speed it up a touch. So it'll look more like this. Okay? Alright? That is the difference. If we were doing just a static stretch, stretching the same muscles, we would put one hand on the wall or some type of door jamb or something firm, and we would take the front of our shoelaces, grab hold of them with the palm, and bring the heel of our shoe to our glute. At this point, we would want to make sure that our knee is always pointing down towards the ground, and we are holding this stretch for at least 15 seconds. Now, I would want to do the mobile stretch in the beginning of my workout and a more static stretch at the end of my workout, okay? The static stretch helps me to keep my muscles flexible and loose, especially around the joints and the ligaments, to help them remain active or acclimated to the work that we'll be doing on our fitness journey. All right? So, as I stated before, there are static stretches and there are mobile stretches. Static stretches are stretches that you do where you only stretch one muscle, and you typically don't move while you're doing that stretch. You hold that stretch for at least 15 seconds until you feel mild discomfort or until you feel that muscle release, and then you can continue to hold that stretch for an additional 15 seconds to make that muscle even more flexible, okay? And then you repeat the same thing to the opposite side of the body. So static stretches as well as mobile stretches, you want them to be balanced. So it doesn't matter what stretch you do, you want to make sure that you do the same thing for the left side as you do for the right side, and vice versa, down to the amount of time that you hold that stretch. Mobile stretches are usually done at the beginning of the workout, okay, right along with your warm-up, and shortly after warm-up to help lengthen the muscles that you've just warmed up to prepare them for the workout. Static stretches can be done at the end of the workout to help your muscles feel loose and lengthened, okay, as you progress throughout the rest of your day after your workout. All right, so we talked about those two types of stretches. Now, do know things as simple as yawning is a stretch, okay? Reaching your arms forward and holding them in place is a stretch, okay? Anything that makes your muscles lengthen is a stretch. Now let's talk about the forms of stretching or how to stretch. So you can do standing stretches and you can do stretches that are on a mat. You can also do stretches that are with equipment or without equipment, okay? So if you do standing stretches, some examples would be, I showed you the quad stretch, okay? This would be the stretch, the static stretch that you perform at the end of your workout. So if you'll do it with me, we did one side, let's do the other side. Place your hand on the wall, grab your shoe at the laces, have your knee point downward, and hold your foot in the palm of your hand with the heel as close to your glute as possible. And we're holding this for 15 seconds, breathing throughout this stretch. Good. And you can set a timer or you can count to 15 in your head, whichever works best. Once you feel those muscles relax, you can always pull a little bit tighter with this specific stretch to get even a deeper stretch in those front muscles of the leg as well as the back muscles of the leg. Okay? All right. Another example of a standing stretch you could do is with your ankle. So you would still hold on to the wall. You'd hold one leg out, point your toes, and we would rotate the ankle to the right as well as to the left. Okay? Again, for 15 seconds, either setting a timer or counting it in your head. So with this, we have about 5 more seconds. Switching direction in the rotation as well. 2 and 1. Now let's switch legs. To the other leg, other side, extend the opposite leg, point the toes, rotate to the left, rotate to the right. Okay? Good. Still keeping your good posture. And opposite directions for 4 more seconds. 2 and 1. Very good. All right, so I just did 2 static stretches. Now let's do a couple of mobile stretches, okay? So in addition to the butt kick, which we just tried, we could also do some lunges forward, okay? So what we want to do is place our hands on our hips, and in order to prepare the ankle, the knee, the hip, the glutes to all do this exercise, we are going to pull in our belly button, okay, therefore bracing our core to get ready to take that step. Now remember, we've done lunges before. We've done them elevated on the ground, one leg on the bench or the step or curb, whichever elevated surface you used. And we've also done it the way we're going to do it, but we've never done them repeatedly, one right after the other. So if you need to watch me first, do so, and then we can do it together, okay? All right, so this is going to be our stretch. We're going to start in our neutral spine position, hands on our hips, our arms are out to the side with our arms bent at the elbows, and we're going to take a step forward, drop down, push back. Step forward, drop down, push back. Step forward, drop down, push back. So notice, every time I step, I'm exhaling, okay? Inhaling while I start here, my neutral position, exhaling when I step forward. Now, not only could that active recovery stretch be a stretch as well as part of our workout, okay? It is also doing exactly as I said, lengthening those muscles and preparing those muscles, okay? So when we do something like that, our mobile lunges, both forward, okay, we could also do them backwards. But let's try it again together. Forward mobile stretches, that'll help prepare our legs for our workout. And in our workout, that may mean we do squats, or we do a squat with our front kick. Okay, we are preparing those same leg muscles to do that same exercise in our workout. So let's try it again. Hands on your hips, okay? Take a breath in, pull your belly button in, bracing for the exercise we're going to do, the warm-up exercise we're going to do. That's going to help us lengthen our muscles in our legs. And let's step forward. Push back. breathe. Good. Let's do 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Now, you might be asking, Paula, what do I do if my knees just won't allow me to get down that far or to move that fast? Great question. Then don't. Go down that low or move that fast. So, a slower version would be inhale, exhale, step out, step back. Notice my knee didn't go down to that 90-degree position as I did in my original lunge. Okay, my knee, I simply came out to a straddle, I did a little bend, then I pushed back. Okay, other leg. Okay, opposite leg. Okay, that's the same thing, you're still warming up the same muscles. Okay, please remember that a part of warming up too also helps you with your balance. Workouts help you with your balance. And we all need to maintain a good form of balance inside our bodies. And the way to do that is to do exercises that'll help us push the barriers of our balance so that we can grow in that area. All right, so back to our mobile stretches that come right after our little 3 rounds of warm-up. So what we did was we did a couple of lunges forward, okay? Another great mobile stretch that we could do is if we decided to straddle and do a twist, okay? So if we straddle our legs, okay, and we would do the same hinge we did like we did in our warm-up after our 3 rounds, but this time our legs are wider, okay? So what we could do is we could bring our arms up and we could touch our toes or touch the ground, and we're going to come right back up, okay? So touch down, come on up, okay? Inhale, now exhale, touch down, and come on up. Good. Again, touch down, and come on up. Let's do another one. Touch down and up. And you're not doing these in a way to make yourself dizzy. You're breathing in and out. Good. Let's do 3 more. 2. And 1 more. Good. Now, if you find yourself getting dizzy with that particular mobile stretch, what you may want to do is not go down as far, and you also have the option, instead of touching your fingertips to the floor, you can simply stretch your arms forward. So I'm still keeping my straddle, I'm still keeping my posture, I'm still bringing my arms up above my head to start with my palms facing each other, but this time when I hinge, I'm simply sticking my glutes back and bringing my arms forward. So I'm limiting the range. Okay? Now I'm going to show you from the side what that looks like. Okay? So that's still hinge position that we do when we go down to touch our toes. Okay? And coming on up. Now, as you get better with this and you feel less and less dizzy, you want to come down. Okay, maybe you want to get your back, your arms in line, so you have a nice, firm, flat back, and then come on up. Again. Again. Good. Let's do 1 more. Okay. And then as you get better with it, then you want to come down even lower. So, as you progress, you still have the straddle, you're not touching the floor, but maybe you're coming down to about, your arms at about knee height, okay? And then coming right back up. Maybe you're tucking your chin a little bit more, and then coming on up. Okay, remember to breathe. Inhale, exhale. Again. Okay, And as you continue to grow, then you reach down for your fingertips to touch the floor. Okay? So again, we just reviewed a couple of standing mobile stretches that we would do, and we're going to start doing after our 3 rounds of our warm-up. Okay? We also touched on some static stretches that we can do at the end of our workout to help our muscles stay loose so we can continue doing our activities of daily living. So remember that word we talked about the first time we were together, that fitness was about living a lifestyle that we can maintain daily, day in and day out. So whether it is you're starting with walking and you want to continue with walking, you want to continue to be loose and flexible in every activity that you do throughout your life. You want to have an active lifestyle. And in order to do that, you have to start somewhere and you have to continue that progress every day and all the time. So these stretches are to help you lengthen your muscles, recover, okay? And what I mean by recover, that means those muscles that you've used to walk, to run, to jog, to incorporate more activities of daily living, you want them to be recovered so that the next time you go out to do your walk, your run, your jog, or whatever activity you choose, you're not as stiff, you're not as tight, you're not as sore, okay? And remember, just a quick health note, if at any point in time you do a stretch and you find that that area that you stretch begins to swell, please consult your physician, okay? There should not be any stinging, tingling, or burning sensation when you do a stretch properly, okay? So if you feel any of those things, please stop that stretch and consult your physician. If you find any swelling in the joints around the muscles that you stretch, please stop that stretch and consult your physician, okay? All right, so let's do some more static stretches. So some more static stretches. Remember, static stretches are stretches that you do of one particular muscle. We're going to balance out the body by doing it to the other side. Some of these we've tried before, like our neck lengthening stretch. So we're going to take our ear and hold it over to our shoulder, okay? It does not have to touch, but we're going to feel a nice stretch along the side of our neck, okay? And we're going to continue to stretch downward. So from the crown of our head to the sole of our feet is how we're going to stretch or do some static stretches. Keep breathing, no more than 15 seconds. And let's inhale, come on up. Let's do the other side. Good. About 5 more seconds. And then we're going to take our chin to our chest. 3, 2, 1. Come on up with your head first. Now take your chin to your chest. And breathe. Stay there. Look over your chest without rounding your shoulders. 3, 2, 1. Come on up. Very good. Okay, now we're going to stretch our arms. So remember, we've had our arm stretches out to the side where we did circular motions. That was our active stretch. But now we're just going to do a static stretch. So we're going to take our arms out to the front like we're saying stop. And we're going to do our wrist stretch. So remember, we pulled back on our fingers, kept our thumb open, stretched the palm of our hand, kept our arm up to shoulder height, felt the stretch from our shoulder all the way down to our wrist, up through the palm of our hand into our fingertips. And exhale. Now we're going to rotate that hand, that wrist downward. Fingers are going to point down. And we're going to pull back gently, not forcefully, gently. Breathe. Good. Three, 2, and 1. And now we're going to switch to the other side. So fingers outstretched, palm is open, Pull back on those 4 fingers and hold and breathe. Allow the oxygen that you're allowing to enter through your nostrils and flow throughout your body to enlighten and enliven the muscle that you're stretching. Now let's switch positions. Palm comes down, fingertips pointed down, and breathe. So it's a gentle push on the back of the hand and the fingers, okay? Good. 3, 2, and 1, and arms come down. Now let's stretch out the shoulder. So what we're going to do with this shoulder stretch is you're going to take one arm across the chest. You're going to take your opposite arm and bend it at the elbow so that one elbow is crossed with the other elbow, okay? Shoulder stretch. Now what we're going to do, once the elbows are crossed, then we're going to use the arm of the bent elbow, which for me is my left arm, this one, and I'm going to pull my right arm closer to me by bringing my left arm in a bit, okay? I'm going to turn in different directions so you can see me. So I simply move this arm with the wiggling fingers forward, and I can feel a stretch in my rotator cuff, so on the top of my shoulder, throughout my back as well, okay? Top of my shoulder here, and a little bit through this upper part of my arm, my bicep. Okay, now we're going to switch. I'm going to do the same thing to the other arm, okay? So I'm going to take my left arm across my body. I'm going to take my right arm and bring it underneath my left arm, bending at the elbow, and I'm going to pull in, hand with the wiggling fingers, which is my right arm. I'm going to pull my left arm forward. I'm not twisting my body. I'm staying nice and forward, okay? Feeling the stretch throughout my shoulder, okay? And holding it and breathing through the stretch, feeling the muscles relax and lengthen and loosen for 3, 2, and 1. Very good. Arms come down. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to do something called an IT band stretch, and it's one that will help lengthen all the muscles on one side of the body, not all of them, but a good deal of them, and muscles on the opposite side of the body. So it's a little bit of a dynamic stretch in that it takes some coordination, okay? And the reason I want to do this stretch is I want to give you something to look forward to when we continue to talk about stretches. So I'm going to take my left arm, bringing it up by my side. I'm now going to take my left leg, and I'm going to bring it behind my right leg, okay? All right? So my legs are crossed. Now I'm going to take my left arm, and with my left side of the body, I'm going to lean towards the right, okay? And you can decide how far you want to lean in this direction. I only ask that you don't roll your chest forward, but you keep your arm up and over. And you're going to feel a little squeeze on the right side in your side obliques or your side muscles, okay? And you're just going to breathe. Now I'm stretching muscles all the way from my fingertips all the way down to my feet. And let's bring that arm down and let's uncross. Now I'm going to face you so you can see me do the same thing but on the opposite side of the body. So I'm going to bring up my right arm. I'm going to take my right leg behind my left leg. And I'm going to lean to the left, feeling the muscles on my right side lengthen, and the muscles on my right side contract or squeeze together. And I'm just breathing, and I'm not rolling forward, okay, so not looking downward, but I'm allowing my ear to get close to my shoulder. And just breathe through it. Good, and come on down. And then we're just going to do our 3 breaths, so we let our body know that we did a good job, and we're finished with our workout for today. So, come on down with me. Inhale, bring your arms up, and exhale. Again, your breath can start here without bending the knees. Inhale, exhale, and one more. Even start here and exhale. Very good. I want to thank you for joining me for class today, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Keep up the great work. Bye now.